Apparently, Steve's been holding resentment against Shirley since her significant other Ernesto Williams caused problems. Definitely am so annoyed right presently, man, discussing I was attempting to get some commitment of you attempt and get some business too. Things have been rough among them. And presently, Shirley's committed a public error that appears to have set Steve off, and on the spot, I need to apologize to you and Marjorie for what I expressed, however much I wish I can't take it back. You see, Shirley's significant other, Ernesto Williams, wound up snared in a trap of serious allegations, including weapon ownership robbery and misrepresentation. Ernesto Williams and Erica Lord make themselves look like specialists in different fields. These grave claims finished in his capture back in 2022, creating a long shaded area over Shirley and Steve's, as of now, complex relationship. What's more, Ernesto's lawful difficulties took a desperate turn, bringing about a cruel 23-month sentence as a result of these charges. Anyway, the situation starts to get interesting, as late occasions have heaped on new confusions for Williams. In a stunning new development, he presently has to deal with 5 extra penalties connected with Seth, fundamentally raising the weightness of his circumstance. These new charges have not just stoked the shoot of his legitimate troubles, yet have additionally kept an unforgiving focus on Shirley Strawberry's very own life. So you may be thinking about, what does this all have to do with Steve Harvey? And for what reason is he supposedly furious at Shirley? Well, everything began with gossip that sent shockwaves through Tinseltown. The tattle plant murmured that Steve, oneself broadcasted ruler of matchmaking, was the Cupid who acquainted Ernesto with Shirley. Yes, you heard that right. Steve purportedly contributed to this relationship. As a matter of fact, he was by all accounts me somewhere down in Ernesto's fabulous proposition to Shirley, and everything went down on her public broadcast, right close to the enormous man himself. Yet, here's the kicker: Shirley didn't perceive her man's voice during the proposition. Currently, once upon a time, a few people could have viewed that as enchanting, yet how about we quick forward to now? And it's more peculiar than a Hollywood Rito turned out badly. I mean, truly, how could you not perceive your own hubby's voice oak? Then certainly yes, this yo man here, what, it's a wreck. However, stand by brief. It makes you wonder, did Shirley had any idea this person whatsoever? Or was she just cleared away by the charm and marvelousness existing apart from everything else, with no hint about the tempest she was venturing into yet? That is not all. It seems the way that fans accept Steve was the mannequin expert, calling the shots of this sentiment, presumably unsettled the humorist's otherwise calm disposition enough to cause Shirley to cause some serious harm. Control and kid, did she apologize? Shirley has of late let the cat out of the bag that Steve didn't have anything to do with setting her up with her flo hubby. No, it was a previous companion who played go between discuss an unexpected development. Anyway, the story doesn't end there. Another component that purportedly fills Steve's hatred was a spilled call among Shirley and Ernesto, which has been circling on the web for a significant period. No cheers, you know. Here, let me know that that is not a nice sentiment. No doubt this private discussion between Shirley Strawberry and her detained ex was never intended to come around, yet it veered off in a strange direction when the sound from this discussion surfaced web-based in this supposed late discussion. Shirley got serious about her encounters as a visitor at the Harvey home. She lauded their rich spa and exercise offices, while offering a few interesting remarks about Steve and Marjorie's relationship. The discussion started harmlessly enough, with Shirley sharing her deference for Marjorie's spa room, which was luxuriously prepared. She commented, Marjorie has her own spa, her own exercise room. She could go in there and get needs consistently. Individuals come to her home and work her out. And that I was all similar to gracious God. What a fantasy. Anyway, the discussion took a really fascinating turn when they began examining Marjorie's appearance. What Ernesto asked in the event that Marjorie was looking old, Shirley answered by saying that she thought not, adding that Marjorie Great searched in pictures in spite of the fact that she hadn't seen her in that frame of mind. In one more piece of their discussion, Williams apparently suggested that it had been some time since the radio colleagues had hung out socially, and that Steve was most likely delighted to see her. Shirley appeared to validate this by expressing he was glad to see us. He generally welcomes us around there, and we never go in late of the fact that I couldn't say whether she's there, you know. She's no, she views at us as the assist you with realizing what will be basically. Apparently Shirley encounters a feeling of unwanted uneasiness when Marjorie is around, an opinion that apparently continues unrestrained by Steve. In light of the fact that he is purportedly scared of her, Shirley's authentic words, planned to be a confidential discussion among herself and Ernesto, immediately advanced into the public space, leaving the two fans and pundits shocked. The aftermath from the spilled calls was fast and broad. It wasn't well before Shirley Strawberry got a handle on the gravity of her words and felt a sense of urgency to resolve the issue head-on. She decided to use the foundation of the Steve Harvey morning show to put out an ardent statement of regret. During the show, Shirley expressed, "And on the spot, I need to apologize to you and Marjorie for what I expressed, however much I wish I can't take it back." She likewise communicated her profound regret for coincidentally energizing the continuous treachery reports encompassing Steve and Marjorie Harvey, which had as of late stood out as truly newsworthy. Shirley appeared to be crushed as she proceeded to get out whatever might I at any point tell you after this you realize happened. I was crushed, I mean, totally crushed, obviously. She was stressed over the effect her words could have on her work and her relationship with Steve Harvey. I mean, I considered all that you realize. I could lose my employment, you realize. How is it that I could confront you all, that you understand what I'm going through? Is the thing I'm going through, you know. And I've been going through it for north of a year. In the meantime, Steve seems to have answered the expression of remorse with elegance and understanding. He recognized that the spilled calls had come from an insider, making it even more challenging to deal with. He remarked, "Yet, when it's not tattle, and it comes from, you know, a dependable source, I mean, then it transforms into something else." Steve perceived that her purpose was not to inflict damage. He expressed the planning of it was monstrous, due to all the other things that is continuing at present, and it made it seem as though Shirley was heaping on. And that wasn't her aim, yet it happened. Like I say, I comprehend. I suppose you say you realize it was recorded. In light of the fact that, you know, when you everyone get that call, who ain't had that call Fulton District, we, if it's not too much trouble. Realize yourself call this call as being recorded. Steve underscored that his essential concern was the effect on Marjorie, who had been the objective of tenacious media examination. He shared, "It's been so terrible for my significant other, man. And see this, I've never finished before. It's been so revolting for my significant other. And I've remained there making an effort not to not say anything." Steve enthusiastically protected Marjorie's personality and steadfastness, underlining that he wouldn't allow unmerited tales to discolor her standing. He pronounced, "The lady I wedded is a decent lady. She's the best thing that consistently happened to me. She's God-dreading, she's dedicated, she's reliable. And she's a sort and cherishing individual. It doesn't matter to me what no one says." He then, at that point, added, "And I'm burnt out on you all discussing my young lady, 'cause my young lady is perhaps of the best lady I've at any point met. And why you dark-ass individuals out there got these web journals like you about to obliterate someone, I don't actually have the foggiest idea what that is about." In the meantime, fans have answered Shirley's expression of remorse, with one specific fan remarking Shirley reserved the privilege to feel the manner in which she felt and say how she felt. The main slip-up she made was expressing it on a recorded line. She might have felt that Marjorie took a gander at her that way around. Then we don't get to let individuals know how they ought to feel. I praise her for getting on air and saying sorry. That takes a genuine lady to do that. Now she wants to chip away at the relationship with her girl. A subsequent fan added, "Trickiness and grievousness is genuine. I'm blissful." Her eyes are open. Ernesto was a trickster and pioneer from the very start. It's smarter to rest alone than lie in bed With your foe, this present circumstance has affected her family, connections, her work, and notoriety supplications to every one of the casualties anyway. Even with all the sympathy she is getting, Steve has additionally purportedly irate at the way that Shirley Strawberry had some awareness of Ernesto's checkered history, and that she could have been empowering him for some time. Now you see, regardless of the murmurs and bits of gossip encompassing her accomplice, she was unfaltering in her conviction that Ernesto had abandoned his questionable past Shirley's.